Hi, my name is Charles, and this is Project Charles, website projectcharles.org. Um, Anyhow, this is about, I've been concerned about the environment since the early 80s. Back in 1990, I did a really in-depth study of it. I didn't see anything happening with reducing the problems. And by the year 2000, I came up with a solution by accident, but I did come up with it because I was trying to come up with methods to work on the problems with global warming and trying to reduce them. Anyhow, this is the main structure and the main benefit of how it ends global warming. What I've got here is a structure that would be 20 miles in diameter and has huge tower structures that shoot water out of them. And the object of it is to control the lower spot where the hurricane's eye wall starts. Now, the winds in a hurricane go inward. They also rotate around. But what we're concerned about is the fact that we want the hurricane's winds to come in and then go up above where the structure is. Now, just by having these fountains aimed inward a little bit, shooting the water, causing the rotation of winds above the structure to be at 100 to 200 miles per hour with hot, moist air that's going to rise up, starting its own eye wall if there was like nothing there. If this was an area of in the middle of a pressure system, it would just start an eye wall. Now, in order to get it so that the hurricane's eye wall will stay there, another addition to strengthen convection cycle would be to have on the inside of the structure steel mill or other manufacturing items that cause heat, that produce heat. You don't want to take, you don't want to produce heat in a city really unless you're in a cold area. So that might be beneficial for cities also, is to have these floating hurricane structures or floating cities, because it really is 20 miles in diameter. You could have with 5 to 10 of these to control the weather systems around the world. They would double up as platforms for scientific research, for increasing seaweed. We need to plant seaweed on the order of all of North America or more in the ocean in order to get rid of the acidification of the ocean. And this has to be done ASAP. And that could be done using these platforms to do it. We also have to increase the Arctic ice cap. And in addition, when these things are off the coast, they're going to create thunderclouds, and that's going to drift over land. And I have another idea that's pretty basic. You might understand it. My tornado killers. Basically, it's a huge. Basically, it's a huge structure, a blimp, floating out, floating up in the air, and it's got fans out in front of it that blow the water and or ice, depending on the level of the blimp, up to point on here where it then goes down into a funnel and travels down to the ground, where it's then put into a flood control system, which we need to build $200 billion worth at least of flood controls in order to help increase the agriculture and so you can feed everybody to stop the wars that are coming and are already here. Most conflict around the world is because they don't have enough food or they don't have enough water. And you're worried about the monsoons being affected. I think they're being affected right now. The Arctic ice cap, it's going away. You know, it's a little bit late to be worrying about, oh no, is this gonna fail? Well, let's fucking do it. And if it fails, we turn it off and we're left with a 20-mile diameter floating platform in the ocean that could be used for scientific research or whatever. But to sit there and wait and wonder, does this, just because somebody before you has never controlled hurricanes, it does not mean that you cannot control hurricanes. And the other argument that was posted against my structure was that hurricanes possibly produce clouds other than thunderstorms. Yes, they'll produce some clouds other than thunderstorms, but they'll produce mostly thunderstorms. And thunderstorms have the property of having ice on the top, which reflects the sun's rays out into space. That's why they're nature's #1 cooling method for planet Earth. And if we could control the lower part of the eye wall and dictate where the hurricane structure goes, we could put the sun's clouds in between where the sun is and the Arctic tundra and stop the methane coming out from there. In addition to thickening the Arctic ice cap, preventing the methane from coming up there, which should have been done last year. But, oh well. Any questions?